Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I've got high expectations of getting a lot of stuff completed. So this cab should be completely done by the end of the day today. Would really like to see the headers and maybe the exhaust back onto the frame, along with the brake lines and the harness. I've been saying that for a couple of videos now, but like, things kind of pop up. But I think hopefully today, with the help that I've got coming, things should line out. We'll get this bumper all done, get the bed block sand, and it just progress today is the goal. We're going to make big leaps today, get this thing hopefully taped up and papered off for primer, so that the next time I come out here, all I have to do is do a final like wipe down and shoot it with primer. That's the goal. So you guys sit back. I don't know what we're going to jump into first, but probably jump right into a time lapse of some work. So I want to thank you guys again just for watching and sticking around for this thing. It's kind of hard to get out here and make a lot of fast progress. We're trying to do a job that some may take years to do, some may take days, weeks to do. So far we're in this now almost 6 months, just because we're only out here 1 day a week or 2 days a week or whatever it may be. But right after this build is going to be probably, well, in the middle of this build, there's I got to do some work to my daily, my GTI, but right after this build is Trans Am stuff. So I'm really excited about that. So you guys hang around for the end of this build and going into that one coming up in a few, well, I'd like to say maybe a month or so. But anyway, I'm going to get to work, and we'll check back in with you guys shortly. I absolutely love this thing. It was super cheap. It does a great job. It really does. This was a lot far worse off than what I'm kind of showing it to be, because I was halfway into it, then I'm like, oh, that would make great content. So sorry, but I was on the verge of scrapping this or spending hours simply just fabbing one up just to get it to, you know, so I'd have something to replace it with. I could find one on eBay or whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to shoot this with a little bit of paint and primer, and I think it'll work out. Alright, so I got that bracket all cleaned up, and I kind of wanted to show you guys like that needle scaler tool. It's, man, it works great. I remember when I had to do the original frame piece that I was actually like just punching holes straight through the frame with that thing. Now, it also says that the frame was trash, but you know what I'm saying. So brought it out here to the paint booth, trash pile, and I think it looks pretty good. Missed a few spots. I'm just gonna roll it around and hit it again, but got that looking good. A new ABS module. I shouldn't say new, it's actually off of this truck and not the other frame, but ABS module looking good. So now I can actually put all the brake lines on and all that stuff. I'm gonna let this soak just a little bit longer, and probably transition to working on these headers and getting them cleaned up, and get those cleaned up. And I can also get those painted and maybe get those wrapped, and then I can start kind of putting more and more stuff together. So back to work. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit real quick. These are pace setters. I think I bought these for like $235 online at a store. They were on sale, but like, these are super cheap. not really the best quality, but I needed something to get the job done and kind of ran out of money. So this is after, I think, close to 3 years. They were ceramic coated, but like we all know the extent of that. But they're still inches 7/8. I think. No. These are 1 3/4 primaries. Anyway, but a little before, and I'm gonna clean this stuff up and get it painted and get it wrapped. I'm probably not gonna record the wrapping because I've got 2 videos of that, or I got a whole nother video of that go way back a couple years, but same procedure in that. So get this stuff done. All right, so these headers, they look a little bit better now. I know that they're not going to last forever, just basically like how that hung up there forever. But fixing these right now in this economy is significantly cheaper than buying a new set. And upon a bigger motor or a different motor at another time, these will probably be upgraded then. I got this really tight. Anyway, so I'm going to paint these up and then wrap them, and they should last a little while longer that way. A little effort, but we'll go ahead and see what we can make of it. All right, so I had to switch gears up from the headers, but we're actually doing probably the most sketchiest job about this entire operation so far. I really do believe this is probably the most dangerous part of the job that we're going to be doing. We got to get this rear end out from underneath this truck, and before you say, hey, why didn't you do that earlier? I kind of expected the frame to still kind of be together and some other things to be kind of in the works at that point. But here we are. So I've got to find weed eater. We already got this rear end out, as you've seen, but I gotta find a weed eater for this. There's a couple things that we gotta unbolt underneath there, so we gotta spend some time under it. And I'm a little scared for people's well-beings. I think is reasonable because we've got 1,000 pounds in this bed, then the frame and everything. So I don't know how we're gonna rig this up, but we're gonna try and be as safe as possible. So if this video like ends here, you know things went south. If there's a clip after this, hey, we're doing good. All right, as you can see, I start to jack and the bumper just caves in on me, which I knew that was probably going to happen. So I moved to the driver's side in front of the crack on the frame, and I placed a jack stand behind the crack on front of the leaf spring, and which raises the front tire off the ground, and we're jacking to the back, so it tells me that all of the weight is on the back. So then we move around to the passenger side, and you can see the bed tilt down even more, and it's just alarming and shows just kind of how sketchy this whole thing is. So then I bring in a chain and we hook around the rear of the leaf springs, and we bring in the engine crane to help support and stabilize everything so that we're safe when we're underneath of there. All right, so I got to be real quick about this, but this is all super sketchy. Probably seen and noticed as soon as we got this jack, or I started jacking here and the bumper got crushed up, but that was also, I don't want to say to be expected, but we had plan B's and plan C's and D's in order. But I put the jack over here and put a nice solid jack stand underneath that side, went to do the other side, and that's when you seen the bed just start to bend the other frame. So the other frame rail. So then we knew we had to come back here. We got chains hooked to the leaf springs because we know that that's solid and that's pushing up on the frame, combined in with the bumper and all this stuff. And both wheels are off the ground. Super sketchy. We got enough space here to possibly wheel something in and out for the new rear end, but yeah, we got to get back to work before this thing falls off. All right, due to time-lapse recording time on my phone, I missed taking the other rear end out, but once we got this 10-bolt slid underneath there, we had to manipulate the jacks and the engine crane to keep everything as stable as possible, because all of the weight was high up and to the back, and we didn't want to lose the bed or the frame or anything like that. So you can kind of see as it's coming down, it's just manipulating all over the place, and it's very, very unsafe. So we get it all down and setting back on the rear end, bolted in, and good to go. All right, so to be honest, filming this is a little bit of a surprise. Things got sketchy. I don't know if you could actually tell or not. Maybe because of the hyperlapse you could actually see easier because of the movements would be quicker. But she's down and on a 10 bolt again. This tire's flat, but yeah, you drive this thing to Carolina, they'll tow it for you. So got the old squat going on. I know that I had the jack right here at one point, and that tire here was a foot off the ground from all the way back here because there was no weight there. And all of this weight on this is up here. So that tells me we're gonna have to load this on the trailer backwards. I think that'd be the smart way to go about it. So anyway, I lived, survived, all is good. Let's, I think it's time for lunch, if I'm honest. All right, guys, so I went ahead and got all 2 coats applied things, and they look significantly better. Don't mind the runs. It was a little bit intentional, just caking as much of this stuff on there as I can. They're going to be wrapped, so nobody's going to see anything, and it's fine. But I think they turned out pretty decent. Ready to move. I've got the ABS module bracket, and I got the module on, and I'm going to be running the brake lines now. Hopefully get those all at least ran. I'll show you. So the bracket, got it all cleaned up, got it painted. The ABS module's in, so now I can run the brake lines from here, just to the ones to the wheels, and then the ones that goes up to the cab. Once I think I have a little bit more things situated, then I'll go ahead and run those up. But I need to find out the placement of the headers where they come down, and then I can, take into effect the way I want to bring them brake lines, because I think those I've got to make. I've got a whole bunch of fittings. I've got extra brake line over here, and these random pieces of brake line out down through here that I'm going to use. So just getting stuff done, plugging away. Yeah, just getting it done. right, guys, so I went ahead and got those brake lines kind of ran. I kind of noticed that there's a little bit of issue. I'll explain. So I don't have the mount here, which it's on another frame out in the back. I ran this line all the way to the back just like it's supposed to go, but this is also supposed to go from here into here. So I'm like 3 inches short. I don't know how. I could come up here and snag a few inches out of here. So, but I like this bend because it's, well, it's not anywhere going to kink. So I'm waiting fittings here because I don't know if I need this end or this much or whatever for how much is going to go in there. And then on this side, I got this ran all nice, not really factory looking, but it's all in the factory spot. And then this line goes over to here and to this spot that I also don't have the bracket for. So I've got line up here that I can play with as far as length goes, or I can cut more off. But when you're doing these hard lines, it's really nice to have a little extra just in case you screw the flare up or something like that. So anyway, brake lines are all set through, looking good coming out of the ABS module. And I'm gonna call that completed work day. If I'm honest, we got so much stuff done. Doesn't look like much is accomplished, but just getting work done, getting stuff plugged in, plugged away, put together, all this stuff. So anyway, yeah, I want to get out of here, get some rest, and thank you guys for watching. Please comment down below anything that I've done wrong or you guys would have done different. I'm trying to learn, trying to get as much knowledge on this stuff and just gather so I can do better, be better about all this stuff. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next one.